If you can't stop thinking about someone, here's the shocking reason why. Psychology tricks. The heart has its reasons which reason knows nothing of. Blaise Pascal. Be honest. Even with a full calendar and real priorities, one person keeps slipping into your head. You switch off the phone, dive into work, hit the gym, yet there they are again. In the quiet moments, in a random song, even in your dreams. So, what's really going on? Are they stuck on you too? Or is your brain running a script you didn't write? Here's the uncomfortable truth: the mind loves unfinished stories. When attraction, curiosity, or uncertainty collide, your brain flags that person as high priority, and your thoughts loop back to them again and again. It's not weakness, it's wiring. The question that matters isn't just, are they thinking of me? It's, why does my attention keep returning to them? Psychology has an answer, and it's more surprising than most men expect. 1. The psychology of constant thoughts. You know that one person you can't stop thinking about? Yeah, the one who sneaks into your mind at the most random times, when you're shaving, driving, or trying to sleep. It's not obsession. It's not weakness. It's psychology. Your brain isn't broken. It's just doing what it was built to do: chase closure, meaning, and emotional resolution. Psychologists have a name for it: the Zygarnik effect. It's the mind's little trick, keeping unfinished stories open like tabs you forgot to close. You think you've moved on, but deep down, your brain says, wait, we didn't finish this. That's why her name pops up when you hear a song or pass that coffee shop you once went to. It's not her ghost. It's your brain still trying to make sense of a story that ended mid-sentence. And here's where it gets real. Sometimes, closure doesn't come from them. It comes from you. Don't wait for her to text. Don't wait for an explanation. Be the one who closes that door yourself. Because what you're missing isn't necessarily the person, it's the understanding. You're not addicted to her. You're addicted to figuring out why. And until you accept that you may never know, your mind will keep hitting replay. Not because you're weak, but because your heart's still waiting for peace. Now, let's talk female psychology for a second. Women think and feel differently, often in layers that most men never see. What you took as connection might have been curiosity. What you saw as rejection might have been fear. Don't take every silence as loss. Sometimes it's protection, hers or yours. Be wise enough to know the difference. That's one of the most powerful psychology tricks out there: seeing the truth behind behavior. Understand how emotion drives action, and you stop reacting, you start observing. That's when you regain control. And that control? That's exactly how to fall in love again, not with her, but with yourself, with your peace, with your purpose. Because the moment you stop chasing closure from someone else, you start finding clarity inside you. Be that man, the one who doesn't beg for answers, but builds his own. The one who looks at the lesson, not the loss. The one who knows that love doesn't always mean holding on. Sometimes it means letting go with grace. So, next time she crosses your mind, don't fight it. Smile, because that thought is not a curse, it's a clue. A sign your mind is trying to heal something unfinished. Be curious. Ask yourself, what is my brain trying to tell me? That's growth. That's awareness. That's one of those rare psychology tricks that separate boys from men. Don't drown in the replay. Stand above it. Be the man who sees through the pattern, who understands that memory isn't love, it's residue. And when you learn to clean that up, you don't just forget her, you free yourself. So don't run from the thought. Don't call it weakness. Call it understanding. That's real strength. That's emotional intelligence. That's how to fall in love again, but this time with your own life. 2. The hidden role of the subconscious mind. The real battle isn't in your thoughts. It's happening deep inside the quiet fortress of your subconscious. That's where the true game of attraction, obsession, and emotion plays out. Your subconscious mind is like a vault. Not a flimsy diary, but a fireproof, steel-reinforced chamber that records everything, every emotional fingerprint you've ever left on another person's life. A smell, a laugh, a tone of voice, each is stored like a secret code, waiting for the right moment, the right trigger to bring it all flooding back. And when someone comes along who touches you deeply, not just physically, but emotionally, your subconscious perks up. They make you feel seen, alive, safe. Your mind stamps them significant. That's when the hook sets. Even after they're gone, their energy lingers, not because you can't move on, but because your mind is trying to decode what that connection meant. Don't fool yourself. Sometimes, the person you can't stop thinking about isn't even that special. Harsh truth, right? They simply awaken something buried inside you, a forgotten spark of excitement, love, or maybe even an old wound that never fully healed. That's why it feels so personal, because it's not just about them. It's about a version of you that existed when you were with them. Your subconscious isn't begging for that person back, it's begging for that feeling back. The feeling of being alive, wanted, significant. That's what your mind is replaying like an old movie you can't stop watching. So here's the twist, the one most men miss. When you keep chasing that person, you're not actually pursuing them. You're chasing your own reflection, the best part of yourself that they helped you see. Once you realize that, everything shifts. You stop running after the illusion and start reconnecting with your true masculine energy, calm, confident, magnetic. You remember who you were before the doubt crept in. That's the beginning of becoming a high-value man again, a man who doesn't beg for attention, but commands it. Because women aren't attracted to the man who clings. They're drawn to the one who understands himself, to the one who owns his emotions without letting them own him, to the one who can look at his past, nod, and say, "Thank you for the lesson." That's what real power looks like. That's masculine energy in its purest form, grounded, present, unshakable. So if you can't stop thinking about someone, don't curse it. Study it. Ask your subconscious what it's trying to show you. Maybe it's whispering, "Wake up. There's more to you than what you've been living." Be brave enough to listen. Don't chase the ghost of who you were with them. Be the man who recreates that spark within himself. That is how you grow. That is how you heal. That is how you attract women without even trying, because you're not chasing, you're leading. And when you lead with presence, purpose, and quiet confidence, you'll realize the most magnetic thing you can ever be is you, the man your subconscious has been trying to remind you of all along. 3. The law of emotional contrast. Listen closely. The mind does not remember those who make us feel comfortable. It remembers those who make us feel alive. If someone makes your heart race with love one moment and tear you apart the next, you've just met the brutal power of emotional contrast. It's not just a feeling, it's chemistry. Your brain becomes a battlefield of dopamine, serotonin, and adrenaline. These are the same forces that drive thrill, passion, and addiction. That's why even toxic love feels magnetic. It's not the person that hooks you, it's the rush. That chaos comfort cycle wires your mind to crave the next high, the next message, the next moment of peace after pain. You're not addicted to the person. You're addicted to the chemicals. And here's the truth most men never face: your mind mistakes intensity for importance. It tells you that the stronger the emotion, the deeper the love. But that's a lie. Sometimes, what feels like destiny is just dopamine in disguise. Man conquers the world by conquering himself, said Zeno, the founder of Stoicism. That's where Old Stoic wisdom comes in, to remind you that emotional control is not weakness, it's mastery. Don't let your feelings ride you like a storm. Stand firm. Breathe. See it for what it is, a cycle of reward and withdrawal, not romance and meaning. The iron mind knows that calm is power. The iron mind wins by walking away when the world expects you to break. In a culture obsessed with emotional chaos, Stoicism wins. The modern man must learn to detach not from people, but from the illusions his emotions create. That is freedom. That is strength. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Stop chasing storms and start mastering silence. Stop confusing chaos for connection. The man who learns to sit still when others are chasing intensity is the man who truly rules himself. In modern life, emotional discipline is your secret weapon. While others drown in their own chemistry, you rise above it. You walk away from drama. You choose peace over passion. You choose power over pain. That is how Stoicism wins. Don't fall for the trap of emotional highs and lows. Don't mistake craving for caring. Don't glorify the roller coaster, get off the ride. Let's build a calm so strong it shakes the earth. Let's master the art of restraint in a world that worships reaction. Let's reclaim our clarity, our focus, our masculinity. When your emotions scream, don't answer. When your mind tempts you with chaos, don't feed it. You must learn to separate feeling from truth. That's how you reclaim your life. That's how you build an iron mind. So, the next time you can't stop thinking about someone, remember, it's not fate. It's the law of emotional contrast playing its trick. Don't fight fire with more fire. Quench it with awareness. Observe it. Own it. Rise above it. That's what men of old Stoic wisdom did. That's what you must do. Victory belongs to the man who conquers his chemistry, not the one enslaved by it. Be that man. Calm. Unbreakable. Decisive. Because when you master your emotions, you don't just survive love, you dominate life itself. If this opened your eyes, hit that like button, drop a comment, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful psychology insights and self-awareness tips. Speech balloon comment to remember. I choose peace over emotional chaos. 4. Is it love or just obsession? Let's be brutally honest for a moment. When someone hijacks your mind and you can't stop thinking about them, it feels like love. Every song, every little thing they've touched, even a random smell suddenly reminds you of them. But hold on. What you're feeling might not be love. It could be obsession wearing a romantic disguise. Love and obsession run on two totally different emotional frequencies. Love is calm, steady, rooted in mutual respect and emotional safety. It's that warm, grounded sense that lets you breathe freely. Obsession, on the other hand, is chaos. It's that nervous energy that keeps you checking your phone every 5 minutes, analyzing every text, every emoji, every pause in conversation like it's some secret code from the universe. When you're obsessed, you're not thinking about them, you're trapped thinking about you in relation to them. You crave their attention like oxygen. You chase their validation like a high. That's not love, it's addiction in disguise. And here's the wild part that psychology tricks reveal. The same parts of your brain that light up when you fall in love are also activated during addiction. That's why it feels so uncontrollable, so intense, so impossible to stop. Your brain doesn't care whether it's longing for a person or chasing dopamine. It just wants more. It's the reason you replay every memory, analyze every moment, and spiral down those what if rabbit holes at 2 a.m. But if you really want to understand what's going on, use this little piece of female psychology and self-awareness. Ask yourself, do my thoughts about this person bring me peace, or do they bring me anxiety? If the answer is peace, you're standing on the solid ground of love. If it's anxiety, if you feel restless, if your stomach knots every time they don't reply, that's not love. That's your brain begging for its next fix. Don't fool yourself into thinking obsession is romantic. It's not devotion. It's desperation. Be smart enough to recognize the difference. Love doesn't drain you. It nourishes you. It doesn't make you question your worth. It reminds you of it. Obsession traps you in your own mind. Love frees you from it. That's the shocking reason why you can't stop thinking about someone. Your brain has mistaken craving for connection. The trick is to break that loop, to use a few clever psychology tricks to rewire the pattern. Remind yourself that love should feel like ease, not exhaustion. That's how to fall in love the right way, with clarity, not confusion, with balance, not obsession. Don't be the prisoner of your thoughts. Be the warden who opens the door and walks out. Because true love? It doesn't make you lose yourself. It helps you find yourself again. 5. The myth of unseen connections. We've all been there, thinking about someone so intensely that it feels like you're summoning them. Then your phone lights up, and there it is, a message from them. You pause, half shocked, half satisfied, whispering to yourself, I knew it. It feels cosmic, doesn't it? Like some invisible thread ties your thoughts together, a sign from the universe, maybe even fate itself. Some call it energetic connection, others call it synchronicity. But psychology? It has a far simpler, less mystical, and far more fascinating explanation: pattern recognition. When you can't stop thinking about someone, your brain starts scanning the world for evidence that confirms your feelings. You notice their name on license plates, hear your song on the radio, see someone who looks like them across a crowded cafe. It's not the universe sending you messages, it's your brain searching for meaning in randomness. And the more you focus, the stronger the illusion becomes. Your mind is wired to connect dots, even when there are none. That's the trick. Now, throw social media into the mix, the perfect emotional amplifier. Every like, every story view, every tiny scene notification feels like a heartbeat from them, a virtual nod that keeps hope alive. Each little ping lights up your brain's reward system like fireworks. It's dopamine disguised as destiny. And before you know it, you're stuck in a loop, checking your phone, refreshing their page, waiting for that next sign. That's not romance, that's obsession. It's emotional dependency dressed as connection. And it drains your masculine energy faster than you realize. Maybe they're thinking of you. Maybe they're not. But the real question is, how much attention are you giving to the thought of them? Every time you replay that memory, every time you check their profile, you're feeding that mental loop. You're making it stronger, more believable, more real, even if it only exists in your head. A high-value man doesn't lose himself in thoughts he can't control. He takes ownership of his focus. He knows where his attention goes, his energy flows. That's what sets him apart. Be honest, you felt that pull, that craving for emotional proof that they still care. But every time you chase that proof, you give away your power. Don't. Take it back. Refuse to be a man defined by who's thinking of him. Be the man who defines himself. That is masculine energy, grounded, calm, unmoved by illusion. You must stop waiting for signs and start creating them. You must stop wondering if they care and start caring about your own peace. That's where true strength begins. Because when you reclaim your focus, you reclaim your power. And that power, that quiet confidence, is magnetic. That's how you attract women effortlessly. Not through chasing attention, but by commanding it through presence. So the next time your mind whispers, they must be thinking of me, smile and say, maybe, but I'm thinking about myself right now. That's not arrogance. That's alignment. That's how a high-value man moves, with purpose, self-respect, and emotional control. The truth is simple. The greatest unseen connection you will ever experience isn't between you and someone else. It's between your mind and your discipline. Control that, and you'll never have to wonder who's thinking of you again. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us. Or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. 6. Emotional echoes and energy loops. When a connection fades, you expect the feelings to fade too, but they don't. Not right away. Sometimes they echo for months, even years. You hear a song, smell their perfume, feel the night's stillness, and suddenly they're back, not in flesh, but in memory. Psychologists call this emotional echoes, the lingering energy of a strong bond. Your brain remembers every vibration, every laugh, every heartbeat. The body doesn't forget intensity. It stores it. And when you think of that person, you're not reliving the past, you're reactivating the frequency they left behind. That's the truth most people miss. You might not be missing them. You might be addicted to the emotional rush they triggered. The highs, the chaos, the thrill of uncertainty, it's an emotional drug. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That is Old Stoic wisdom, the kind men once built empires on. So listen, what you feel isn't a sign from fate. It's a habit of the mind, an echo replaying itself. Don't chase the ghost. Don't bow to the memory. Let's call it what it is, an energy loop. Your mind craves stimulation, not the person. It wants the feeling, not the truth. And the truth is simple. They're gone, but your brain hasn't caught up. So how do you break free? You rewrite the pattern. You train your mind like iron. You build an iron mind through discipline, through the daily act of saying no more. Every time they appear in your thoughts, you must stand tall and say, "This is just an echo." Say it with conviction. That is Stoicism win. That is how you reclaim power. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Remember that when the memory hits you like a wave, it's not real pain, it's a shadow of pain. Don't feed it. Don't let it grow. The Stoic man does not chase ghosts. He builds walls of reason around his heart. You must do the same. Breathe. Detach. Observe. Don't let emotions lead you. Lead them. Control the story before it controls you. In today's world, where every notification, every song, every scroll pulls you back to what once was, it's easy to stay trapped. But the modern warrior learns to master himself, not others. That's what Old Stoic wisdom demands. Don't let nostalgia fool you. It's not love, it's energy begging for direction. Redirect it. Channel it into strength, fitness, business, creativity. Turn longing into motion. That's how men rise. That's how they win. Don't drown in what's gone. Build with what remains. You must choose victory over victimhood. You must forge peace from chaos. This is the true test of the iron mind. Let's be clear, emotional echoes fade, but only if you stop feeding them. Don't romanticize the past, weaponize the lesson. Don't mourn the bond, master the pattern. Every echo is a chance to prove control. Every thought is a test. Every moment is an opportunity to win through Stoicism. The weak replay memories, the strong rewrite them. So the next time you think of that person, smile, not in sorrow, but in triumph. Because you now understand, it's not love calling you back. It's your own mind asking if you're still in charge. And your answer must be unwavering, yes. 7. The mirror of unmet needs. Sometimes, when you can't stop thinking about someone, it's not them that's haunting your mind. It's the echo of what they made you feel. That's the shocking truth most people miss. You think you're obsessed with their smile, their laugh, the way they looked at you. But what if that person is just the mirror of something much deeper? Something your soul has been starving for? Maybe it's attention, validation, adventure, or love. Maybe it's the thrill of being chosen after feeling invisible for too long. This isn't just romance. This is psychology tricks in motion. The subtle dance of the mind that traps you in the loop of what if. Don't fool yourself into thinking they're the answer. Be brave enough to see that they might simply reflect your unmet needs, the emotional gaps you've carried quietly for years. That's how female psychology often works too. People aren't drawn to others at random. We're magnetized to those who mirror our missing pieces. We're magnetized to those who mirror our missing pieces. Think about it. If you can't stop thinking about someone who made you feel seen, maybe it's because you've been invisible to yourself for too long. You've learned to downplay your worth, waiting for someone else to notice it first. Don't. You must be the one to see yourself clearly. Or, if you're endlessly drawn to someone emotionally unavailable, that's not chemistry, that's conditioning. You could be unconsciously replaying a childhood script, trying to earn the love that once felt out of reach. That's not romance, that's repetition. Stop trying to rewrite your past through someone else's silence. It won't heal you. And if you find yourself obsessed with the one who made you feel alive, the late night laughter, the pulse of excitement, ask yourself when you stopped being the source of your own spark. Maybe you've outsourced your joy, expecting someone else to bring back your thrill. Don't do that. Be the fire again. They're not the medicine. They're the mirror. That's not just poetic. That's pure psychology tricks at work. When you stare into that mirror long enough, without longing, without excuses, you start to see the truth staring back. You begin to understand that your obsession is really your soul saying, "Look here, this is where it hurts." And that's where healing begins. That's how to fall in love with your own life again. Stop asking, "Why can't I stop thinking about them?" and start asking, "What are they showing me about myself?" Because every lingering thought, every emotional tug is an invitation, not to chase them, but to meet yourself. The beauty is, once you understand this, everything changes. You stop running after ghosts of connection and start creating real ones. You realize that what you were chasing was never that person. It was the reflection of your unfulfilled self. And when you fill that space with awareness, self-love, and curiosity, the obsession fades. That's when the mind quiets down. That's when the heart stops aching. Don't wait for someone to save you from your thoughts. Be the one who finally listens to them. This is not weakness. This is awakening. So here's the truth wrapped in psychology tricks and female psychology insights. That person who lingers in your mind is not your destiny, they're your teacher. And the lesson? Learn how to fall in love with yourself the way you once hoped someone else would. That's the only way the spell breaks. That's the real power, when you stop seeing them as the missing piece and realize you are whole all along. If you've realized it was never really about them, but about what they awakened in you, you've already started healing. Comment below, I choose to see the mirror, not the illusion. 8. Turning obsession into self-awareness. Here's the beautiful twist most men never see coming. Those intrusive thoughts, the ones that keep you awake at night, replaying old conversations and what-ifs, are not your enemy. They're your teacher. When you can't stop thinking about someone, your mind isn't broken. It's sending you a message. Don't silence it. Listen to it. Ask yourself, what is this thought trying to teach me right now? Maybe it's pointing toward a boundary you ignored, the one you kept bending just to keep someone's attention. Maybe it's exposing an emotion you never processed, something you buried because you thought men don't feel that way. Or maybe it's showing you that you've been outsourcing your happiness, depending on someone else to make you feel complete. That's not love, that's dependency. And dependency kills your masculine energy faster than rejection ever could. The truth is, obsession can become a doorway to self-awareness, but only if you have the courage to walk through it. The high-value man doesn't run from his thoughts, he studies them. He doesn't escape discomfort, he uses it as data. Start journaling. When your mind drifts back to her, write down what you feel. Be brutally honest. Don't write what sounds strong, write what's true. Then read it back. Notice the patterns. Are you lonely or just bored? Are you missing her or the way she made you feel about yourself? Are you looking for closure or are you just afraid of silence? You'll start to realize your thoughts aren't random. They're messengers, signals from parts of you that have been ignored for too long. The more you suppress them, the louder they become. The key isn't to deny the obsession, but to decode it. Behind every repetitive thought is a lesson waiting to be learned. Behind every memory you can't let go of is a version of you asking to be understood. When you finally face it, when you name the truth behind it, the thought loses its grip on you. That's when you shift from reaction to awareness, from chasing to clarity. Once you understand the lesson, you don't need the obsession anymore. It fades on its own. You stop chasing what's gone. You start standing firm where you are. That's the moment your energy changes, from needy to grounded, from desperate to magnetic. And that, my friend, is what truly attracts women. Not the chase, not the charm, presence. A man who knows himself radiates confidence. He carries high-value energy. His masculine energy speaks before he says a word. So the next time you can't stop thinking about someone, don't curse it. Don't see it as weakness. See it as an invitation. You must walk through that storm, not around it. You must face the reflection in your own mind. That's how you grow, that's how you evolve, and that's how you become a high-value man, not by escaping your thoughts, but by mastering them. Because when you finally understand yourself, you stop needing anyone to complete you. You become whole. You become free. 9. How to break free if you want to. Don't fight your thoughts, master them. The goal isn't to erase someone from your mind, it's to free yourself from their power. That's Old Stoic wisdom. When their image returns, don't resist. Don't flinch. Simply acknowledge it. There they are again. Then breathe. Focus on the present moment, the sound of your breath, the feel of your hands, the task in front of you. Because resistance strengthens obsession. Acceptance dissolves it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. That's Stoicism in motion, a Stoicism win. The iron mind doesn't chase what it can't control. It observes. It endures. It conquers. You must understand, your mind craves stimulation. If you don't feed it with purpose, it replays the same old memories over and over, like a broken record. So stop feeding the ghost of what was. Replace it with growth. Learn something new. Sweat. Read. Build. Reclaim your focus like a warrior sharpening his blade. Every new challenge rewires your brain, reclaiming the space that used to belong to them. That's not just healing, that's dominance. And let's be honest, the hardest part isn't forgetting. It's letting go of the fantasy that they still think about you. Stop checking their page. Stop waiting for signs. Stop looking for meaning in their silence. Detach your peace from their reaction. Because when your happiness depends on another person's response, you're handing them the keys to your prison. Remember what Epictetus said: it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You can't control their absence, but you can control your comeback. Don't try to erase them. That's weakness. Rebuild yourself so completely that the thought of them no longer shakes you. You must remember who you were before they entered your life, and then evolve beyond him. That's the essence of an iron mind, unyielding, unmoved, untouchable. Let's be real. Men today are bombarded by noise, distractions, and emotional traps that drain their focus. Social media feeds obsession. Constant comparison fuels self-doubt. But that's where Old Stoic wisdom gives you your edge. The modern man who practices Stoicism wins. He learns to sit with pain, to face loss, to remain calm amid chaos. That's how you win life, not by reacting, but by mastering your response. When you stop chasing closure, the loop breaks. Not because you forced it, but because you outgrew it. That's real freedom. That's a Stoicism win. Stop waiting for time to heal you, you heal you. You do it by acting with discipline, purpose, and strength. Life will test your heart, but it's testing your will, not your worth. So build your iron mind, sharpen your awareness, and reclaim your energy from the past. Don't run from your pain, refine it into wisdom. Because healing isn't forgetting, it's remembering with power. It's looking at the same memory and feeling nothing but peace. That's victory. That's mastery. That's the mindset of men who rise, not fall. As Seneca said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. So take control of the imagination, and the suffering ends. You must remember this truth. Freedom doesn't come when they disappear. It comes when you finally stop needing them to. Let's make that your turning point. Let's make that your Stoicism win. Let's forge your iron mind and never look back. So maybe it's not about them after all. Maybe the reason you can't stop thinking about someone isn't because they're your destiny, but because they woke up a part of you that's been sleeping for too long. They made you feel something real, something raw, something you thought you'd lost. And your mind, it just doesn't want to let that go yet. But here's the truth: you don't need to forget them to move on. You just need to remember yourself. Because once you turn your focus inward, once you start giving yourself the same energy you gave to them, you'll realize the power was never theirs to begin with. It was always yours. The thoughts will fade. The echo will quiet. And what will remain is you, stronger, softer, wiser, and finally free. Hey, if this message hit home for you, take this as your sign to start pouring that energy back into yourself. You don't need to chase closure. You just need to choose peace. Be kind to your heart. You're doing better than you think. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.